Good morning. Welcome to Village in Motion. Today is Wednesday, November 1st, 2017, and I'm here today with Executive Chef Michael Ritt. Good morning.
Good morning.
And today we have our monthly call-in show.
Yes, we do.
And before I forget it, which I too often do, our telephone number is 703-663-3333. And Michael, you have brought with you a guest. Would you introduce her, please?
I would love to. I'd like to introduce Mary Smith, who is our newest dietitian here at Green Spring.
Good morning, Mary.
Hi,
and
good morning.
I'll let Mary introduce herself a little bit.
Hi, so I'm Mary, like Michael said, and I'm a dietitian, and I got my undergraduate degree in nutrition at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville.
Excellent.
I then went on to Virginia Tech to get my continuing education and professional development to become a registered dietitian, and I'm thrilled to be part of the dining services team here at Green Spring. For my job, I'm working a lot at Garden Ridge, but I'm also excited to start going into independent living and bringing health and nutrition to our residents. As part of the dining services team, I'm really excited to talk about some of the new ideas that we have coming in 2018. First one is I'm going to be joining Michael on the call-in show at the beginning of the month and just talk about some of the nutrition events that we have coming up and answering any questions that our residents may have in the future. And then something I wanted to introduce today is that we're going to start bringing pureed meals into our stores on campus at Green Spring.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. We've had a lot of residents talk to us about some of their needs and what they wanted to see us do to help meet them in their journey to health. And so we came up with a pureed diet. I actually have one here that we're going to sample. And before I go into more detail about it, I just want to talk about the benefits of a pureed diet. So I think that we don't realize already how much food we eat that's already pureed, like yogurt. Just the other night I had a smoothie for dinner. Soup and so much more. So we're really excited for this, and some benefits are it's going to save time for chewing, swallowing, biting. If we have any of that difficulty, it's just going to make it easy, comfortable, and safe. But the best part is, for us, we're not cutting out the nutritional value or the taste.
So what do we have here on the plate?
Okay, so this is a Thanksgiving-themed meal. So we have our turkey, our carrots, mashed potatoes and gravy, and of course, cranberry sauce. And I don't have it here today, but the stores are also going to start carrying pureed dessert. I'm really excited for that one.
Now, these will be carried in the stores as a hot product, as a frozen product?
So thank you for asking. So we're going to have it in a container, and it's going to be separated all for you with one big container. It's going to be labeled with what's inside. So turkey, carrots, mashed potato, your dessert, and it's going to come with instructions on how to reheat it. So
it will be refrigerated or
it will be in the
frozen?
freezer section, and we just heated this up a few minutes ago. It was super easy and quick, and so it's going to come with that instructions. We're also going to have a nutrition label, so you know what you're getting, so you know that we're not cutting you on your nutrition, your protein, your carbs.
So it will be the same kind of nutrition label that I would find if I had bought this in the freezer section at the grocery store.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
And this will be prepared here in our kitchens.
Mm-hmm. Yep, all homemade, right for everybody, just ready to go. And I think something that's really great to pay attention to about this is it's perfectly balanced. Like, we have our protein portion for you, your carb, your vegetable, your fruit, and then also your dessert. So we're delivering all the nutrients, and most importantly, not cutting out on taste. We're going to take care of you guys.
And when will this be available, Mary?
So that's to be determined. We're hoping by 2018 we're going to have 3 available. We're hoping to have the Thanksgiving one coming very soon, though.
I'm sure that we have a lot of residents that will be happy to see this. Anyone with difficulty swallowing or difficulty chewing, or some people with difficulty in digestive problems, this will make life easier for them.
Definitely. Pureed makes digestion a lot easier, and you can eat it in the comfort of your own home if you want. Just pick it up at the store. It's super easy. So we're really excited about this.
Yeah, I think this goes back to, you and I talk about this all the time, resident satisfaction. Do we really listen to the residents? I think this is a perfect example.
It's a perfect example. I know this has been brought up on comment cards.
And understand that a project like this, there's many steps. We have to find the proper packaging. We have to secure the proper packaging through our purveyor. Then we have to go through all the steps of the process of preparing it, packaging it, transportation. How many do we want to start with? What meals do we want to offer with? What are the more popular meals? We know in IL what the residents enjoy so much, can we transfer those popular meals into a puree form? So there's many steps, but understand there's been a lot of, and Mary and her dietitian team have taken a lot of the lead in this, and I commend them for that. And it was a great pilot program that they brought to us, and you know, we're going to be the community that's really, we want to pilot this.
Oh, I think this is terrific.
So
This
just
is exciting.
another step in that resident satisfaction. And you know, we always talk about residents aging in place, and I think this is a perfect example of how, you know, a lot of times there may be either the husband or the wife may, you know, be on a strict diet program.
Right.
Well, it doesn't mean your whole life has to change.
Right.
So this is just to help you along that journey.
This is an excellent
Yeah.
program. Thank you for introducing us
of
to us.
course, yeah.
Great.
And then the other thing I wanted to introduce is later today there's a memory care expo at Hunter's Crossing. I'm going to be there with the other dietitian, and we have a display of foods that help prevent Alzheimer's and just memory care in general. And so we're going to be there answering any questions that any residents may have.
And the Memory Care Expo is where?
It's at Hunter's Crossing from 11 to 2.
Okay.
And we're going to be there, and we're actually going to provide samples of meals prepared in our own kitchens that support memory care and brain health.
11 to 2 or 11 to 1?
I think it's 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So-
I'd asked someone else and they said 11 to 1, but I think that you're a better source of information, so that's
I was told to be there till 2, so we'll see.
We know it starts at 11.
Yes.
Okay.
And just come meet me, and I'll be so excited to
And
meet
I believe
everybody.
that there's a dietitian from the outside who is coming in and will be speaking there also. I think
That's
that her speech
correct.
starts at 12, and she'll be talking about foods that are good for your brain.
And we'll have samples of those foods available to
There,
try
so
as well.
free food, and
Yes.
that always brings a crowd. So
absolutely.
That will be a good place to attend today. I know I plan to go over and listen.
Good. I'll see you
That's
there.
great. Good.
And I think one thing we want to let, especially the residents and over in the independent living section, is that Mary and the dietitians, you know, they're available through email if you ever have a question, or even if you want to meet them for a consultation, you know, they're here. And I think we provided Mary's email, and we'll also send that out through Channel 6, through our weekly menus, through other forms of communication, so that if you want to, and if you need to get in touch, a lot of residents, you can always ask myself, and I can steer you in that direction. But I think a lot of our residents, if they know that, and I think they put her email up on the screen, but if a lot of our residents know that they are here, and they're here to, if you have a question you want to ask them or set up a consultation.
They're a terrific resource for us.
Absolutely.
And it's
Absolutely.
important to remember that when we go to our doctor and our doctor says, well, you need to concentrate on this kind of diet and this kind of diet. And remember that our physicians are nice people, but they don't have a lot of training in nutrition.
Absolutely.
Our registered dietitians do.
Yeah.
And we are thrilled to have you here as a resource
Thank you.
for us.
Yeah. And I'll also be there providing contact information at the Memory
Great.
Care Expo.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Michael, I know you have about 42 more things to talk about
No,
today.
you know, nothing
next?
new in dining. You know, actually, you know, November's a busy month, obviously. I know everybody's talking about town center fireside construction, and I think you had a few questions you wanted to go over, but it's moving along. I think the big question is, and you and I talked about this, is what are they actually doing?
What's going on behind
What's going on
those
behind the
doors?
closed doors? It's like Oz, you know, Wizard of Oz, you know, behind the screen.
Right.
And I think that at the end, and I think one thing, you know, we've done kitchen tours, and I think once this is completely done, I recommend residents to set up, you know, kitchen tours. Obviously, we can't bring a huge group in, but I've always told residents, you know, if you ever wanted to get a peek behind the scenes,
It's not like it's a place nobody can see. You welcome us
we
there.
welcome. Listen, this is where you live. Why not take a peek behind the kitchen? You know, we always say during service we kind of limit it to a few people. We've set up tours, and I think once this kitchen's done, we'll move forward with doing that again, bringing people through. But what are we doing? We're changing out the floor. We're putting in a more usable, friendly floor. Currently, we have Corey tile, which is, you know, just tile, just walking on tile. You can imagine.
hurts.
It's not the best thing. So we're putting a poured floor, as they call it, so it has a better give, and the floor goes up the wall. So the issues we've had in the past with leaks, and everybody knows about the famous leaks, should be a thing of the past, because it'll go up the floor, up the side of the wall,
side of the wall.
and seal to it. We're putting in new walls in the kitchen that are more up to date. They're going to be user friendly for us in cleaning. We're putting in new lighting, which is LED, which is going to save us around 20% in electricity costs. And then as far as equipment, we're upgrading some of the equipment. We're relocating some of the equipment. We're changing out our exhaust system so that it can accompany the new equipment that we're bringing in. We're adding new pieces. We're updating some pieces, so it's going to be user-friendly. It's going to be an easier operation, and I think that, you know, when it's all said and done, the end result will be well worth the wait. It's going to be, you know, I think it's just going to be a beautiful kitchen that residents will be proud of, and that us as employees in dining especially will be proud of. So, again, we start the second phase, closing down Fireside, November 13th.
November 13th is the
And I know I'm going to lead into some of your questions
That's
that you
all right.
have.
That's okay. The change date. So what's going to happen on November 13th?
So basically on the 13th is the operation in that kitchen will cease. Because what they'll
So
do
right
is,
now you've been doing a little bit in the kitchen.
well, they've been doing a lot of it in the kitchen. They've been doing a lot in a little kitchen. Does that make sense?
It does.
You know, they've still been, and I commend, you know, Corey and Chef Mark and their team over there on obstacles that they've had to deal with and still, you know, running full speed. I think if people walked back there and saw, you know, it's literally half a kitchen, but they're still producing everything that they've done. So I commend them on that, and I think, you know, people don't realize what's entailed with that kind of operation.
I think they've done a wonderful job in both in the Fireside and the cafe.
And the cafe, yes. And I don't think people realize in the cafe, they have to literally walk into the Fireside dining room, walk all the way around down that hall to bring stuff. We cannot go through the kitchen to the cafe side. So there's that extra
They've
journey.
put a lot of miles on.
That carpet's getting worn pretty good.
In addition to walking all the way downstairs to the parking lot every time they have to go to the freezer.
And understand that we have a freezer. Now we're going into the winter time, and you know, we have a freezer down there. We also have a dry storage downstairs in the old dining service office. So they're scattered throughout the building. So it's a like an orchestra. You know, you're conducting many different pieces.
If we residents are whining a little bit and feeling sorry for ourselves, all we need to do is think about what our staff is having to put up.
Yeah, and I think I commend the whole team over there. It's just it's been a challenge, but they've overcome it, and I think they've done an excellent job.
So on the 13th,
we're pretty much closing the kitchen down.
Kitchen's closed
The
down.
equipment
Where
will
is
be
the food going to come from?
We are going to switch production over to the Jefferson and Hunters Crossing kitchen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move not the complete staff over there. We're going to utilize some of the staff in other operations because we understand that with this shutdown we expect an increase in covers in Jefferson dining room and in Woodland Skies, and lunch and dinner. So we're going to utilize our staff to disperse them properly so that we can support not just Jefferson and the production there, but Woodland Skies as well, to ensure that we give the same service.
But do you want people to understand that there's still going to be food available
absolutely.
in the cafe and
Absolutely.
in the Fireside?
We're going to run breakfast and lunch, but on limited menus. And people have to understand that, and that we're going to run dinner. It's going to be
breakfast and lunch in the cafe and dinner in the Fireside.
And we're going to do dinner in the cafe. Now the dinner in the Fireside will be a buffet. We're going to mirror as much as possible the Jefferson menu that's served in the Jefferson. And people say, well, you're going to serve the same menu in Jefferson and Fireside. I understand that, but people have to understand also from a production standpoint, we have limited space. And now you're going to be going into a kitchen producing, when you think about it, 700 to 800 meals out of this one kitchen. That's a lot to do every single day. Plus supporting the production with breakfast and lunch to ship the product over. And the logistics, I think that when people understand that we're going to be literally transporting the meal from Jefferson over to Fireside, and we have these what we call crest cores, and we're going to have the use of a truck, and they're big heated boxes, and that everything's put in there, and it's at a controlled temperature, and we roll it over in the Fireside. We have the buffet set up, and we're going to utilize these boxes. We're also going to take some of our coolers from the kitchen, and we've worked with the construction company that they're going to bring some of these coolers out into the Fireside, not particularly in the dining room, but in side stations, so that we'll still have use of refrigeration and some side stations for the salad backup, for dessert backup. I know some of the questions people ask, and I know you have some, is Well, Jefferson has an action station, but we have an action station at Fireside. No. You know, so many, we can only move so many things and we can only do so much. And action stations mainly, they're a Jefferson thing. I think that, you know, Jefferson does a lot of the action station that's built into their menu. You know, when we rolled out Signature, it was, action stations were kind of, you know, something that it was feasibly and logistically hard to do with Signature just because of how the meals served and the service.
Let me throw out a couple of other questions that I think people might have.
Absolutely.
There are 4 entrees every night in the Jefferson. Will we see all 4 of them in the Fireside in the cafe?
We're going to try to mirror as much as possible,
Okay.
and we're going to try to make it. I know we have residents saying, well, we have a vegetarian option. That's taken into consideration. Will we have an option that's, say, gluten-free or gluten-friendly? I'm not going to sit here and write in stone guarantee, because day to day you're throwing obstacles and challenges that we have to work with. But our intention is to copy as much as possible that Jefferson menu over to the Fireside.
Will the grill still be open in the cafe?
It will be, but understand, like I said earlier, there'll be a limited menu.
Mm-hmm. Will we still have cold sandwiches at lunchtime in the cafe?
We'll have the cold sandwiches over in the cafe, but again, we're going to limit it to, I'd rather do a few right than have too many and not be able to do those.
That makes sense. Will the a la carte entrees available in the Jefferson also be available in the Fireside?
Absolutely not, because we will not have no way of producing them in the Fireside, and we don't want to produce them in the Jefferson and run it. Imagine taking an order and just the logistics would be a nightmare.
Are we going to be eating from plasticware again?
We will have disposable. We're looking into what kind of disposable that we want.
Can I bring my own flatware if I want to?
You can bring your own.
Some people did last
flatware.
time.
Here's what I suggest. We will not wash it for you. My suggestion is
That makes sense.
You bring it. You can bring it in a plastic bag. Once you're done using it, you put it in your Ziploc, bring it back to your home, and you can wash it there. As far as plateware, we suggest not to, because we can't handle your plateware, and just for sanitary reasons, no one wants to walk with a dirty plate back to their apartment.
I don't think so. No. Now I forget what I was going to ask you. How long is this going to last? Do we have a dream end date?
You know, I don't want to give dates. We're looking at the beginning, first quarter of 2018. And people understand, my gosh, that's a long time. I think if people understand the scope of this project, we're literally gutting the kitchen and rebuilding it. And if you think about, well, when they probably built this building, it took them, look at Garden Ridge and, you know, when they're doing construction over there. It's easier starting fresh and building something than going into a pre-existing. And we talked about the cement floors we found. You know, you have no idea what obstacles you're going to face.
That's right.
So that's why we give a longer projection. I'd rather give a longer projection and finish sooner than vice versa.
The bottom line that we want to communicate here, I think, is that don't think that just because the kitchen is closed that you can't get food. You're going to be wonderfully fed. Please, we don't want everyone to go to the Jefferson and Woodland Skies. You're going to wait forever for food.
Correct.
Please look at the menus. Please go to the Fireside. Please go to the cafe. The food is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people have said now they've made great comments and compliments about the food in Fireside and the cafe. I know you and I have talked, and it's really like it hasn't broken and you didn't miss a beat. Everything's going. You wouldn't, if we didn't talk about it, I think people wouldn't realize what was going on. But I think one is communicate to the resident population that, listen, this is your community, you should know what's going on. We're very transparent. We're not going to hide anything from you. If we have an issue, we're going to be like, listen, I'd rather tell you that it's going to be February, March, than say, oh, I think the first week of January, because the first week of January, people are going to be knocking on my door. You said, so that's why we say first quarter of 2018, just because I don't know what they're going to find. We don't know the future. Exactly.
Michael, we have 2 minutes left.
Let's
look quickly at the November Dining Services events calendar, and I'll hold mine up here. You can pick yours up in any dining room. looks just like
All right,
this.
real quick, I'm going to run through this.
Okay.
Next Monday, December 6th, we're going to start our bake sale for Thanksgiving, and we did it last year. It's going to run the same way. You're going to not call in. You're going to have to physically go to one of the 3 stores, and you're going to put your order in, and then I think we're going to bring the items in around the 22nd or 21st of November for pickup, and that where you order, you'll be able to pick up. Same form as last year, so it's pretty user-friendly. You know, you pick what you want. You can either put it cash or resident charge at the store like you pay for other items. Next week we have Veterans Day coming up, and we're going to do some specials during the week in celebration of that.
Excellent.
On the 17th we have Night on the Town, and again, everybody knows that's the anniversary of Green Spring. And again, we're going to today we're having our operations meeting where we will be deciding on the menu. Always something nice and fancy that we like to do.
A special night.
And then I think we have on the 30th of November, we have our, and it's not on here, but we're going to have our Diversity Expo, where we'll have foods from different regions of the world. We'll have people, you know, in costumes from different, there'll be performances and presentations. The Diversity Expo we do every year. And again,
let's quickly remind everyone about Thanksgiving.
yes, that was on my notes.
Okay.
That everybody understand that we will not have Thanksgiving dinner or meal in the fireside this year, that we will have it. We're going to open up the conference center. We're going to open up the conference center for Thanksgiving. And the reason why is, one, we knew that we could not present the meal the way we would be satisfied with in the fireside. Who wants to have Thanksgiving on disposable ware? And you know, it would be hard for us to transport. Imagine a Thanksgiving meal. So this way we're going to be able to do it a buffet. It's going to be a beautiful Thanksgiving meal. Pretty much it's going to mirror what's in the Jefferson. So what you can imagine is like an extension of the Jefferson. You have Jefferson 1A and 1B. And this way we can take on, because there's a lot of family that come in. We wanted, because remember, the PDR is closed. So we use that 2, sometimes 3 times. With the buffet and the fireside, we're taking out about 6 tables. So we decrease the seating. So we wanted to be able to have proper seating. We could put about 200 plus people in the conference center, and we could probably get a good 2 turns. And we've done this before, and we can
With those nice big round tables also.
Yes, and we can offer a great meal on china with glassware.
And you will also not be serving in the cafe that day, correct?
We are considering, and this
That's
hasn't
not
been
finalized.
Perhaps having carry out in the cafe for Thanksgiving.
So we're not sure yet. Stay tuned.
Absolutely, and of course we'll communicate that on Channel 6, the Village Bridge, the resident menu.
Excellent.
So
I think we are out of time.
we got it all in, huh?
It's a good thing nobody called because we didn't have time. But
I think we
would
were
have
talking
welcomed
too
their
much today. We're
calls
like,
also.
I can't get a call in.
We had lots of information. Mary, thank you for joining us, and
thanks
welcome to Green Spring.
Thank
and
you.
Residents, please call on Mary and the other dietitians for information at any time. Michael, always a joy to
Always a
talk to
pleasure to join you.
Thanks for the information.
Thank you so much.
We'll look forward to seeing you next month.
Absolutely.
All right. And residents, we will be back with another segment in just a moment.